Imagine being struck by something so extraordinary, so rare that it defies all odds. A rock from outer space. In 1954, for a woman in Alabama, this astonishing event became her reality. This is the story of Ann Hodges, the only person known to have ever been hit by a meteorite and lived to tell the tale. And if you think that sounds unbelievable, wait until you hear what happened next. It was a quiet afternoon on November 30th, 1954, in the small town of Sylacauga, Alabama. Ann Hodges was enjoying a nap on her couch, unaware that her life was about to change in the most unimaginable way. Outside, the sky seemed peaceful, but unbeknownst to anyone, a cosmic visitor was on its way, one that had traveled billions of miles through the vast expanse of space. Without warning, a meteorite roughly the size of a grapefruit tore through the atmosphere, igniting into a blazing fireball as it descended at over 200 miles per hour. People across several states witnessed the bright streak in the sky, mistaking it for a crashing plane. But for Ann Hodges, this celestial rock was heading straight for her. In an instant, the meteorite smashed through the roof of Ann's house, tore through the ceiling, bounced off a radio stand, and struck her directly on her left hip and arm, leaving her with a massive bruise the size of a pineapple. The impact caught her by surprise, and as she found herself surrounded by debris, she thought her chimney had collapsed. The meteorite that had struck her was 7 inches in diameter and weighed about 9 pounds. Remarkably, Ann survived the incredible impact. But what followed was even more surreal. Ann's astonishing story made headlines worldwide, with everyone wanting a piece of the rock that had traveled millions of miles, only to collide with a human being. Ann started receiving amazing offers for the meteorite, some as high as $5,000 or more. But before Ann could sell the rock, the United States Air Force quickly confiscated the meteorite for examination. The reasons for this interest are unclear, but were possibly related to the Cold War paranoia of the time. Obviously, Ann and her husband Eugene wanted the meteorite back and were ready to fight for it in court. They believed it rightfully belonged to them, especially after it had caused such disruption to their lives. The U.S. Air Force eventually returned the meteorite to Ann and her husband. However, Ann's landlady, Mrs. Birdie Guy, argued that since it landed on her property, it was hers. What followed was a legal battle between Ann and her landlady that dragged on for months. In the end, Ann and Eugene got the meteorite back, but only after paying their landlady $500. Unfortunately, by then, the excitement about the rock from space had died down, and the value of the meteorite had significantly diminished. At that point, Ann decided to donate the meteorite to the Alabama Museum of Natural History in Tuscaloosa, where it's still on display today. Forever marked by the cosmic encounter, Ann was left with nothing but the scar of an extraordinary experience and the memory of her brief brush with fame. Ann Hodges' story continues to captivate imaginations, serving as a testament to the sheer unpredictability of life and the cosmos. After all, the chances of being hit by a meteorite are so astronomically low that it's almost impossible to fathom. But believe it or not, Ann Hodges isn't the only person to have had a close call with a meteorite. Although she remains the only documented case of someone being directly struck, there have been other astonishing near misses that are equally mind-blowing. Take the Peekskill meteorite, for example. On October 9, 1992, a massive green fireball lit up the night sky across the eastern United States. As it hurtled towards Earth, the meteorite shattered into pieces, one of which crashed directly into a parked car in Peekskill, New York. The meteorite weighed almost 30 pounds and was about 1 foot in diameter. Fortunately, no one was inside the vehicle at the time. The car, a 1980 Chevy Malibu, became an instant sensation and was sold to a collector for much more than it was worth before the incident. And here is another more recent case. In 2010, the town of Lorton, Virginia, experienced its own shocking encounter with a meteorite. On January 18th at 5:30 p.m., a fist-sized 4.4 billion-year-old space rock, weighing about half a pound, crashed through the roof of a doctor's office and broke apart into smaller fragments as it hit the floor of one of the examination rooms. Luckily, no one was injured, but had the meteorite crashed a little earlier, it could have killed someone. The meteorite and its fragments were eventually donated to the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. And who could forget the Novato meteorite that fell only 2 years later? This meteorite entered Earth's atmosphere over Northern California on October 17, 2012, but soon broke down into smaller fragments, which rained down over California's North Bay area. A small piece of the meteorite, about the size of an apricot, struck the roof of a house in Novato, causing minor damage. Larger fragments, estimated to weigh between 2 and 20 pounds, also fell in the area, but were never recovered. The owner of the home struck by the small fragment, Lisa Weber, eventually donated the meteorite to scientific research, ensuring that this incredible event would be studied for years to come. These astonishing close encounters with meteorites remind us of the power and mystery of the universe. While Ann Hodges remains the only confirmed person to have been struck by a meteorite, her story, and those of others who've had their own near misses, serve as a reminder that sometimes the universe can make its presence known in the most unexpected ways. So the next time you gaze up at the night sky, remember Ann Hodges and the immensity of what lies beyond our atmosphere. And then go check if your home and car insurance policies cover meteorite impacts. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more incredible stories like this, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel with all notifications on so that you won't miss any of our future uploads. Until next time.